Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 is now streaming on Netflix, and if you have watched it like I have, you're in
emotional damage.
Yes, that is completely true. These last two episodes have brought just so many emotions to everybody, and I'm just excited, like everybody else, to see what's to come in the last season in Season 5. We are going to be discussing heavy spoilers, so if you have not watched it yet, I'm warning you now. Stop watching this video and please go watch Stranger Things Season 4. Or just, if you have not watched Stranger Things in general, please go watch that show. Before we get started, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you have not, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Also, if you guys would like to discuss Season 4 in general, put them down in the comments. I like to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. I think this season of Stranger Things has been by far the best. The writing team and the Duffer Brothers did such a phenomenal job, so I just want to give all the praise down in the comments to the Duffer Brothers, because you all know that this season was fantastic. It was full of emotion, happiness, sadness, shock. It was just great. There's so many standout moments in Volume 2, but some standout moments I want to talk about, especially one, is with Mike and Will in the back of the van talking in episode 8, and Will finally gives Mike the painting that he made. And in that painting, he depicts the whole gang and them fighting a dragon. And basically, he just reassures Mike that, hey, you are the heart of the group. You're the leader. You're the one that inspires all of us. And I thought that scene was really well done. That reassurance that Mike is the heart of the group, he's the one that inspires them all, helped him with 11 when 11 was at her lowest point too. 11 was thinking, oh crap, I can't defeat him, he's stronger than me. But in that moment, Mike's like, hey, I need to be the heart and soul of the group, and he inspires 11 and gives her that reassurance, hey, that you can defeat him, it's actually possible. And I thought that was really fantastic to hear and see, because everything basically comes full circle. And the writing, props to the writing team, that was phenomenal. So another standout moment I wanted to talk about was when Steve and Nancy are talking in the RV, and how Steve wants to have 6 children one day, which I thought was also funny, but it was also a wholesome moment, because I think Steve Harrington's character is the best character in Stranger Things. And that has to do with because his character arc has changed so much. He basically, in the beginning of Stranger Things in season 1, he was almost I wouldn't say bully, but he was an asshole. But all of a sudden now in season 4, he's grown so much, and that obviously has to do with him hanging out with the other kids and just gaining inspiration from them, and him becoming more heroic and less of an asshole. But that scene with him and Nancy, I think, was really wholesome and done really well. In that moment too, I think he was telling Nancy that because we might not come back, and this might be a suicide mission. So I think in that moment he's like, I need to tell her this. And he doesn't say in that moment who else is in that dream of his, but later on in Volume 2, we know that it's actually Nancy who's with him in that so-called dream. So I wasn't a big Nancy and Steve shipper, but now I am kind of leaning towards that. So here's hoping that will be explored in the last season, season 5, but I don't know what's going to happen with Jonathan. I feel bad for Jonathan at the same time too. Let me know down in the comments, do you guys team Nancy with Jonathan or Steve? Another scene I wanted to quickly talk about was the scene with Max and Lucas, and they're in Vecna's house in the finale. And even though they are not speaking directly to one another, they are communicating, writing stuff down, and that's how they're talking with one another. But even though no words were exchanged, you can still feel the emotion in that scene, and I thought that was really well done. And as you already know, unfortunately, towards the end, we know that Max unfortunately dies. But thankfully, 11 ends up healing her. I don't know how. It looked like it was force heal. Who knows? But I'm really glad that 11 was able to do that. Unfortunately, she is in a coma at the end, and we don't know when or if she'll wake up. But here's hoping that she does, because she is such a great character that the Duffer Brothers wrote into the series, and I think it would be a disservice if they kill her off, because why? There's no point. She's great. She also has a great character arc, and it would, like I said, it would be a disservice if they end up killing her off. So here's hoping that she survives and wakes up in season 5. I do have a theory that whatever 11 did to Max to heal her, that Max will probably end up with powers in season 5. I know it's far-fetched, but I'm just saying what I think might happen. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Will Max wake up? Will she not? Will she wake up with powers? Let me know. I'm really curious to know what you guys think will happen to Max. So here's hoping she survives. A scene that was also great to see is when, in the finale, Eddie Munson is playing his electric guitar in order to distract the creatures, and you see Dustin Henderson off to the side watching Eddie play, and he was so happy to see that. The relationship between Eddie and Dustin has grown throughout the season, and it's almost a brotherly love they have for one another. And back in episode 8, they had a beautiful exchange where Eddie basically tells Dustin, don't ever change. And that was a really wholesome, beautiful moment between these two characters. And if you don't already know, if you have watched it already, unfortunately, later in the finale, Eddie Munson does unfortunately die. R.I.P. Eddie, we loved you so much. You were such a likable character when you were first introduced this season. And his arc was so beautiful because he wasn't the one to make the sacrifice play. And he basically said that he would always run from a situation. And he did run when he was obviously accused of killing Chrissy, even though he didn't. But in the moment when he was surrounded by the creatures, he was like, this is it. I need to stand up now. And he made the heroic sacrifice play. And we give props to Eddie. We love you, Eddie. You were such a likable character. We hope that you do get that diploma at some point, maybe in another multiverse. Who knows? But Eddie, you were such a likable character. We love you. Now I want to talk about that scene where you have the transition with Hopper taking on the Demogorgon and Nancy, Robin, and Steve taking on Vecna. That was brilliant. You have Kate Bush's remix of Running Up That Hill in the background, which just made it even better. It was really great to see these characters have their moment of victory. You saw Hopper cutting off the head of the Demogorgon. You got Steve and Robin throwing these Molotovs at Vecna. It was so good. I started standing up and clapping at that moment. I still have no words for that. I loved every second of it. It was just great to see our characters look like they won in that second, which felt great, but then obviously Vecna actually just ends up disappearing. Who knows where he goes? But it was great to see our characters finally get some vengeance and action for what they've gone through, not only this season, but throughout the series as a whole. Now, that last second shot, we have Hawkins and the Upside Down merging into one. I'm very excited to see what we have in store for Season 5. I'm really curious what's going to happen regarding both of these worlds emerging into one. I don't know where Vecna is, nobody knows, but I'm just really glad that we didn't have the major scripted characters die. Like Steve Harrington is still alive for Season 5, Nancy, Mike, Will, 11, Jonathan, Hopper, Joyce. Like, I'm just really glad we have all these characters still alive. But R.I.P. Eddie, you will be missed. Season 4 of Stranger Things was such a wild ride. I had fun watching it. I'd give this season a 9.8 out of 10. It was that good. Anyways, let me know down in the comments your thoughts of Season 4. Let me know some favorite moments you've had, some happy, sad, shocking, also what you expect in season 5, and I would love to read them. It'd be great to interact more with you guys. If you guys not have already, please like this video, subscribe if you have not, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you guys next time.